Hi, my name is Jayrew, and I got a journey and a story to share. So make sure you tune in Opposing Perspective Podcast. It's gonna be dope. Check it out.
To Jayrew, we have Jayrew from Centerville and Camden, who served 30 years in prison. Wants to talk about his redemption.
Express how decisions determine your destiny. How one bad decision, could take you away from your family for 30 years of your life. And like most kids, I grew up in the city of Camden, single mother, no father. 30 years, I had no charges. I took every program, took correspondence course that I paid for out of my pocket. They said we're gonna deliberate for a minute. It was on the screen, so they came back on the screen. He said we're gonna release you May 2nd. Only thing I heard was May 2nd. I ain't heard nothing else after that. I just heard May 2nd, and they went off the screen.
We all good. What's going on, Jayrew? I appreciate you coming here, after doing like 16 hours last night, man.
Yeah. I'm tired, but I'm here.
No, that's real. How's everybody's comfortable here? Everybody had a good time getting here. It's nasty outside, though.
It is.
Yeah,
it's raining.
Definitely is.
Traffic's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone's holiday was good.
Great.
Yeah, family. It's always good to be amongst your family, people that you care about.
I was working.
My D drove an hour in the rain.
Yes. Good thing for Dunkin' Donuts and good music.
Mm-hmm.
For a second,
Keep you occupied.
For a second, I didn't think he was coming.
Why you didn't think I was coming? Listen, I don't play. If I'm saying I'm gonna be somewhere, I keep my word. That's where I'm gonna be
real.
at.
That's real.
You might not hear from me until I pull up. But I'll be here.
That's real.
I'm not a follow-upper.
That's true. She's not like a confirmation person or anything, but she's gonna just pop out and be there. So that's what's up.
Yeah.
We got a dope interview that I want to get into, but before we get into that, I want to welcome Opposing Perspectives Podcast. I'm your host, Sidell, and I have another host with me, Ma D. She's been doing a lot of great things from a rapper. She's outside. She's a manager. She does some project management, production as well. Been on the set of Sons of Sin, helping out a lot. Shout out Ma D.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We have Mrs. Bunch with us. Thank you.
How you doing?
Appreciate you coming. and we have Bobby as well, who is a friend of Jayrew. And that goes into Jayrew. We have Jayrew from Centerville and Camden, who served 30 years in prison. Wants to talk about his redemption and the things that ultimately led him out of prison. And he has a brand called Life After Life. And he also started a chess club in Camden, which is really dope. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No. Jayrew, ultimately, I want to ask, really what you want to talk about. What led you here, and just tell us about yourself and your background.
I really want to express how decisions determine your destiny. How one bad decision, could take you away from your family for 30 years of your life. And like most kids, I grew up in the city of Camden, single mother, no father figure, and I gravitated towards street guys. So, in the course of me growing up in that type of environment, I wanted to be like, instead of me being like the guy that worked at 9 to 5, I wanted to be like the local drug dealer, had all the cars, he had the girls, he had the money. Mm-hmm. So that inspired me to go down the path of selling drugs. Started selling drugs when I was 13 years old. And all the people that I looked up to was people that was in the streets. I didn't have too many positive role models like growing up. So eventually led to me making a lot of bad decisions in my life, like far as not going to school. I ain't had nobody to tell me like, listen, boy, get it together. You getting older now. You ain't gonna be able to, your mom ain't gonna be able to help you in certain situations. So after growing up, in an environment and in that type of environment, I eventually started selling drugs. Like almost everybody in my neighborhood, none of us had our fathers in our life. Nobody had a father.
What neighborhood is that again?
I grew up around the 6th and Ferry section of Camden, but I used to hang in Centerville, and I'm known for being in Centerville. And we never had no father figures in our lives. So I eventually started selling drugs, carrying guns, and in 1992, December, I wound up getting incarcerated for a robbery and a felony. Okay. and I was 19 years old. You know, it was in the Christmas Day paper. You know, and you know I was very disappointed because I had let my mom down. You know, my mom, I was her oldest son, so I was the one that always, you know, made sure my brothers went to school. You know, I used to, you know, help my mom help take her to work, help bring her back, help her out with the bills. So I was like the man of the house.
So you was the man. It sounds like you were. You definitely was.
Yeah.
So, you know, before we talk about the arrest, let's go into like, you know, school and teenage years, you know, friends around. Like, was it all just according to survival, or, you know, and you said that, you know, no role models. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what in school, were you going to school at all? Were you
I was going to school, but I was, you know, we had like little neighborhood, back then we had like little neighborhood, like little neighborhood crews. You know what I'm saying? You know, Centerville had the 8 Ball, Parkside had Parkside Mob, you know, North Canada had Northside Posse. So it was all different type of areas, and they had different areas, different crews. So I used to go to school, but I'll go to Canton High. And Canton High is like a fashion show. So everybody go there to dress, you know, we go talk to the girls. You know what I'm saying? I was always smart, but I was just focusing my energy in the wrong directions, you know? So,
I mean, yeah, so let me ask you this, though. You said that you wouldn't want to make sure your siblings went to school and everything and, you know, did what they were supposed to do. So ultimately, you know, you learned that was the right way to go, but you were sacrificing yourself for your family, correct?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
And because that's all you knew, correct?
That's all yeah.
So, you know, leading into your 92 arrest and, you know, the paper, there was, you had a choice to take a plea deal or just take it to trial. Ultimately, you know, why didn't you take the plea deal? Because you would have got less time, correct?
Yeah, I would have got definitely less time. They offered me 30 with a 15, which meant I would have did 15 years. But at that time, when he offered it to me, I was still I didn't want to take responsibility. Just like I told you, I never really had no male role model, so I didn't have nobody to say, listen, you was wrong. Take responsibility, learn from it, and then get yourself right. So I'm still trying to find an easy way out when it ain't no easy way out. In life, ain't no shortcuts. So I'm still looking for shortcuts. There wasn't no shortcuts. So I wound up getting double the time that I could have got, which was very disappointing. And I thought that I was gonna miss something out in the streets. I'm thinking that I'm gonna miss something in the streets. I'm gonna miss something what's going on. 15 years, that's a long time. So at the end of the day, I made the decision to go to trial when I should have just took responsibility. That's another thing about having a father figure in your life.
Or someone to guide you through the process, because you was young. You still was a kid. You was 19 when it happened.
19, yeah.
So can me ask you a question? What was the thought process, the ending of trial, and they gave you the sentence they gave you? What was your thought process then? My mom came to every trial. You know, that's when it was really hit me. You know, because when you get locked up, I'm still young, so I really didn't know the consequences of what I was locked up for. When I went to trial and I started seeing my mom coming, she's upset. You know, and they tell her what happened and everything. That's when it really started hitting me. Like, dang, like it's serious. So I still, up until the last moment, still thought, you know, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna beat it. No, I know I couldn't beat it, but I'm thinking I could beat it. So when the judge came back, the jury came back and said guilty. They found me guilty. I'm like, damn, like you know what I mean? I didn't know how much time I was gonna get. My lawyer was like, yo, you're gonna get 30 years. So I'm like, 30 years? He said, yeah, 30 years, but you can work it down. So he was giving me false information at the time. You know what I mean? Public defender.
They always do.
Yeah. So he gave me false information at the time. So I goes to sentencing. So I go to sentencing. That nobody came to my trial, but everybody's at the sentencing. I understand that. So the courtroom is packed. So the judge said, you know, I said my piece. You know, everybody say what they say. And I was like, the judge was like, yeah, well, we're going to give you life with a 30-year parole base. So I'm like, what that mean? Life, 30 years? So, you know, I'm confused. I'm like, I thought I was supposed to get 30. Like, nah, they gave you life. I'm like, oh, man. So I was really stressed out. That's when I was really stressed out. And I really was trying to, I'm like, man, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like, man, I can't. In my mind, I'm thinking, ain't nobody going to do no 30 years, no life. I don't even know nobody did no 30 years.
Right.
You know
Seems
what I mean?
like a long time. Right?
Yeah, it seemed like a long time at that time.
So as a mother sitting there and hearing those words for your son, what was your initial reaction to it?
At the time, I was shocked because I really didn't understand the full details, exactly what was going on. And I knew that if I had money, real good money, that I would be able to get a real good lawyer for Jay. That was my main thing that I kept saying in my heart. But with all of that going on and the judge them talking and lawyers talking, if you don't know the law, you're really confused. You know, you like be stuck.
It's like a foreign language.
It's like stuck. And you don't have anybody explain it to you. I didn't have anybody that I can go to and talk to about it because Jay's my oldest. And I was to the point that was like a real sticky situation to me to talk to about Jay because you don't know who to trust. You know, I don't know if I might say the wrong things or it sound crazy when I say it to you and people look at you like, how come she don't know that?
Right.
You know, that was the first time anything like that had hit my home. And I was like stuck, numb, because I didn't understand. And me being young, having Jay for his courts and laws and stuff like that, I never really got into anything that I would have to go to court for because I always kept my driving license together, kept my household together. So when that hit, like hearing Jay talk about it now, it's like I'm sitting right beside him and he's speaking what he feels. I'm still feeling numb because that happened and he went away for 30 years. And when they sentence him, they sentence me.
Yeah.
Because
you're doing that with him.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to you. So as we talk about, you know, doing your sentences and doing your time, you know, ultimately, how are you getting through your time now? You know, because you eventually you got to realize I just got to, you know, you got to face it now.
Yeah. So now I'm facing it. They sent me to Garden State Youth Correctional with Yarville. Everybody they came through with the Yarville reception, but a lot of the young guys was down Yarville, and my mom was like, I want to go somewhere with guys working on their case trying to get out. So they wound up sending me to Trenton, which is New Jersey State Prison. So now I'm 22 years old in Trenton. Trenton is a whole different animal. Like but I'm still young though, so I'm still like really. I ain't really understand, like, you know, the gravity of the situation. So, you know, when I used to go to the mess hall, they used to have the mess line. I used to jump people, get in front of the line. So one day, older brother pulled me to the side. He's like, let me talk to you for a minute. He sat me down. He said, listen, I know you want to jump. You know, you want to get your food first, but these guys will kill you down here. He said, they'll just stab you up. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm looking at him like, he's like, yeah. So that right there kind of humbled me, and I started going to the back of the line. I started reading different books, studying, Naeem Akbar, Blueprint for Black Power, Amos Wilson, Vision for Black Men, Naeem Akbar, Dr. Ben. I started reading real conscious books. So that right there started helping me like really understand, you know, what I was going through and how I was going to think my way out. You know what I mean?
No, that's big. So during that time, is that where you met Bobby or?
I met Bobby when I came home.
Okay.
But I met a lot of influential brothers during it. There was one brother I had met. His name was James Caesar. He was a good brother. He did 38 years. He had wound up killing somebody in prison. He had a murder in prison. So, but he was locked up since 77. And this was a very disciplined, serious brother. And he was the only man that I've ever met in my life that challenged me. Like, he used to, anything I say, he's like, where you get that from? Where you read that at? You know, well, how did you come up with that? You know? Mm-hmm. In one instance, me and him was walking in from the yard. All the police in the building respect him. So we coming in from the yard one time, and I'm coming in, looking at them all tough. You know, I'm young, so I'm looking at them all tough. So they pulls me over. When they pulls me over, they pat me down real rough, and he starts. He kept walking. So when he's waiting for me at the steps. So when I got back to the steps, he says, I said, man, we should go out there and get him. He said, well, what you want to do? He said, if you don't want to do that, don't talk about it. He said, we don't sell, we don't do that. Like, he said, that was your fault because you came through there looking at him like that. Mm. And he was a very impactful brother. And I started being with him. He just started moving and shaking.
So you
like,
have people take you under your wing.
Exactly.
So you have Bobby here, and you also did time as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Can you want to talk about why you brought him on and why you got him here?
The brother Bobby, it's kind of crazy. Me and brother Bobby, we work together. You know what I mean, in the local area. And I met the brother. You know, I felt his energy, and he was a very impactful brother. And
seems like a thorough person.
Yeah, thorough person. And I called Bobby one day. Me and Bobby was talking, and I was telling him about how when I came home, the people that was there for me, and how one of my brothers, Kevin Baker, when I told him that I was coming home, he told me that I might get fired, but I'm coming up there. So me and Bobby talked about that before. We talked about a couple of things. We cried on the phone. That's how we really connected. I'm gonna keep it real. Our first conversation, he cried, I'm crying. You know what I mean? He telling me how his family did him. I'm telling me how, you know, the things I've been through. And then from that point on, we was connected. You know, I talk to him every day. And, you know, he always motivate me. You know, his story is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where he came from to where he at now. And I just like being around the brother. And the brother is a very motivating, inspiring brother, man. And, you know, Bobby, you know.
You do the same for me, too.
Yeah. But yeah, he definitely is a powerful. He got a nice journey that he went through, man. And you know, we both destined for greatness, man. You know what I mean?
No. I want to go back to you, Mrs. Bunch. So you never miss a visit, from what I hear, and
Never.
You know, you also, you know, you're really that bridge for him to be able to have that connection with his son, because you always brought him.
Right.
Can you want to elaborate and talk about that? You know,
His son, you know, was very close to me. And we started at the county. I even had to learn how to do sign language with my hands to talk to Jay. And I recall when his son was born, I went up and told Jay that he had a son. I couldn't speak it, so I got the Spanish.
hold on. So you learned the sign language?
I knew the sign language at Camden County Jail.
Yeah.
I used to go like that to Jay and say, listen,
All right.
listen. And I would talk to him with the sign language with your hands. And a lady taught me how to do it with a pack of Newports. I gave her Newport cigarettes, and she would teach me. So that's how I learned how to talk. And then I passed it on to other people. Mm-hmm. But I went up there and told Jay, I spelled to him that he had a little boy. And Jay clapped back like this with socks on to me to let me know that he was happy. And I told him that his son was born with 4 teeth. But then he did like that because he didn't understand. So I explained to him that, you know, you had your teeth pulled out in there. Your son was born with 4 teeth. That's how it happened. And, you know, he started laughing. He said, you know, Mom, that's good. You know, what is it, a girl, boy? I said, it's a boy. So then I spelled that to him. But, yeah, I took his son to every prison. We caught, even I moved to North Carolina, and I would catch the plane, the Greyhound, the bus, drive the car, change my clothes in the parking lot in the car to go in to see Jay. I would go pick his son up. I lived in North Plainfield. I would go to Edison and pick him up. I would go catch the train to Edison, from Edison to Plainfield, from Plainfield to the 32nd train station into Fairview and Camden, and take that trip all the way back to get to in time to see Jay.
Wow.
And I just,
That's impactful.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think that people understand the mental and emotional distress that you go through, because it's like you're emotionally happy that you're going to see your son.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing, I did a bid with someone for 7 years. I had my kids, he was incarcerated, so his first interaction with his son was behind the bars, right? So when you leave, they don't understand when you leave the pain of leaving a loved one behind, and knowing that you can't bring them home with you. So that whole ride back to wherever your first destination was, is like so emotionally distressful.
It is.
And then to do it again the next week. So it's like a emotional roller. And people just need to understand that, because I know a lot of people that don't, like, never did a bid with someone or has someone that been incarcerated. They don't understand it. It was like, they think it's simple. Like, oh no, it's just a visit. It's stressful.
You have to.
It is so stressful.
You have to learn the rules in the lobby. Once you learn the rules in the lobby, you can kind of get through that door to go see your loved one. But your main thing is to learn what you're supposed to do in the lobby, what you can and you can't do. And that's dressing, touching anybody, holding anybody's kid, putting your stuff in the locker. Because your number, once you get in the lobby and signed up, you become your son's number. So if anything, somebody give me something that I'm not supposed to have and I go through the door, they can think that I'm with that person and I was just doing a favor. So I had to be very mindful of my surroundings. You know, even though I used to help people put clothes on and give them an extra garment to make them so they can go in. But then one day God told me not to do that no more, because I really don't know the person, don't know what they're playing. They're playing on. I have good intentions, but it doesn't mean that anybody would understand it that way.
Wow.
So you have to be very, very careful. You couldn't speak once you get in there. You couldn't nod your head. But I used to stand up. I stand up for 15 years when Jay come out. 15 years. I stand up out of my seat, and people used to say, "Ma'am, sit down, please. Please sit down, ma'am. You're going to lose your visit." I said, "I've been standing up all my life greeting my son. I'm going to continue to stand up." And he could tell you, when he come out, I always stood.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jayrew, so ultimately, your eligibility for parole comes up, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to go into that process, because I hear there's a couple parties involved.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say, like, my last couple years of my sentence, it's like I told you, we spoke about, I got a job. I was working at the sign shop.
Oh, yes.
Making 58 cents an hour. I want y'all out there to hear this. 58 cents an hour. I was making 58 cents an hour, and I worked there for 3 years. I saved all my money. I ain't ordered no honey buns on canteen. I ain't ordered no hookups, nothing. I was eating off the line, and I saved all my money up because my dream was to send my mom to Jamaica when I got out. I said, I don't care what I do. I said, I'm going to send my mom to Jamaica a trip. It's her first trip. She ain't never went nowhere. She never had, she just got a passport. You know what I mean? Nobody in her family ever paid for her to go nowhere. So I said, I'm going to save all my money up. When I get out, I'm going to send my mom on a trip. So when I got out, I went to parole. When I went to parole, I went to the 2-man panel. They was like pit bulls. They was on me. We don't think we should release you, But they was just getting me ready to see how I was going to respond. Then when I came back in there, he said, man, we think we ready. He said, we just had to do that to make sure you're ready. So they sent me to the 4-man panel. I went through the process, and I told them, what I've been doing, and I ain't catch no institutional charge. I ain't 30 years. I had no charges. I took every program. Took correspondence course that I paid for out of my pocket. Took college courses. Everything I was supposed to do. So when I went to the 4-man panel, they said they said we're going to deliberate for a minute. It was on the screen, so they came back on the screen. He said we're going to release you May 2nd. Only thing I heard was May 2nd. I ain't heard nothing else after that. I just heard May 2nd, and they went off the screen. I told them thank you. They went off the screen, and I sat in the booth for like 5 minutes. I'm crying in the booth. I'm upset. I'm so happy. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I can't wait to get back so I can call my mom and tell her that I'm coming home after 30 years. So when I comes out to visiting hall, one of the officers that work at my detail, he there. So he see me, he said, "We got action." I said, "We got action." He shook my hand. So
real quick though, but you had Seton Hall was involved with coaching you through that process.
Yeah, Seton Hall. The professor Seton Hall, she came aboard and they helped me with my parole stuff, and they coached me through the process. Did mock parole hearings and everything, and that's one of the things that helped me as far as get out there too. So they helped me a lot. But
so you ever have mock hearing?
Yeah, mock hearing. Yeah, with the students. She put 2 students on my case, so they would come up and they would be acting like the parole board, and they would ask me different questions. Why do you they were preparing me, but nothing can prepare you for the real life. Even them the mock period they helped me out, but just being in front of them, it was just. You
still had that.
You still had that nervous. Yeah.
So how long did they prepare you for? How long did that training or coaching go for?
They was on for a while, probably about. They was on my case for probably about 10 months.
Wow.
They went through 2 cycles of students. I had 2 students on there. They wound up graduating law school, became lawyers. Then she put 2 more students on there, and the last 2 students was the ones. They was the ones who helped me the most.
Wow.
I got a chance to meet them.
Yeah, she met him. We went to Seton Hall. Yeah.
That was a real good feeling. It's like your son standing there, right beside you, and I'm looking at all these people who helped him.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I had a chance to tell him thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
When I was ready to come home, now see now I got the parole, I got the date now. I'm preparing to come home now. So I tell my boss, I said, listen, we're gonna have a welcome home, So I said, certain amount of people gonna be there. It's gonna be like welcome. Really, I wanted to salute my mom, but I didn't tell them. I'm just like, I want to do something. But I'm really trying to praise my mom because she the one that she was a lifeline. She the one kept me focused. Every visit, you tell me I'm coming home. Even when I had 18 years, she still tell you coming home. I said, Mom, I know I'm coming home, Mom. Mm-hmm. You coming home. All the way through, she supported me. So when the day that I was released, everybody was out there in the parking lot. All my friends was out there.
Covered.
And my son is my first time hugging my son on as a free man, and it was very emotional and inspiring, man. I couldn't. it was like I was living a dream, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you could say that it would have been, your whole journey would have been different. Do you think you would have still been motivated, had the same drive, have you not had the support that you have from your mother?
Yeah. I think, had it not, because there was a lot of guys in there that was going through the same situation, but they didn't have the support I had. A lot of them was in the lockup. I knew I couldn't go to lockups because my mom coming up Sunday, you know. I knew I could. She bring my son up every week, so I said, I can't get caught up in no nonsense in here. And, you know, it's like you said, like, even with my mom and even, like, taking the plea. Like, who's to say that, because at the time that I probably came home, I still had a little bit of that stuff in me. That street slick stuff in me. Like 15, I still ain't shaking all the way. Like around 18, 19, that's when I started shaking. Like, I gotta get it together. But 14, 15, I still had a little bit of that in me.
14, 15
years. And I still didn't really, you know what I mean? I still didn't really, like, I was dead, I was learning, but I still had a little bit of the little slick stuff in me, you know what I mean? Yeah. So who's to say after the 15 that I wouldn't have went home and, you know, got a quarter bit. Yeah, went back to the same thing.
Yeah.
But
we're going to take just a quick pause real quick. So
yo, this your boy Simon One Punch Card, Mr. Everywhere when you never there and we live.
What's going on? You know what I'm saying? We at the set of Sons of Sin 2. Check out Sons of Sin 1, Amazon Prime. One punch right here, check. You already know.
And we everywhere and they what?
They ain't never there.
Never there.
Heard up.
The street lifestyle might seem attractive, but most time it leads to chaos and destruction. This is a Camden story, North to be exact.
I've been talking to Big Shot. We gonna furnish whatever we buy. They got the best coke out right now. You ready for that mission?
Hell yeah. Just wish I knew more about it, though. They going in there strapped for war, man. This shit's serious.
We gonna do more than just trap, you know?
Man, give me everything, man.
What the fuck? What the fuck happened? Got him!
Niggas respect the big guns. It's an intimidation factor, you feel me?
The main rule with this shit right here is you rather get caught with these motherfuckers than get caught without them.
Some wild cowboy shit, man.
So y'all motherfuckers causing havoc out in the streets, huh?
Look, man, Taino sent us. You know, to see if you want to get down with this thing of ours.
Why Taino didn't come, man? We 20 years in. Should make it happen, man. Fuck them Camden niggas, you know? You know, it's always a green light.
Hey, listen, man, we got something on line for you, man. You up for it? Who it is?
All your friends is dead. What, you trying to be the next one?
I done came a long way from being broke. Just to know these streets ain't never give us hope. Thank God I was born with the hustling and stay solid through the shit that broke the mother niggas.
all right, so you we're coming back from break, and you were just talking about breaking the news down to Mrs. Bunch, or your way about breaking it to her that you're about to come home.
Yeah, you know, I went through. They gave me the green paper, told me that I was coming home May 2nd. So the first thing I did was when I went back to the unit, I got on the phone. I called my mom, and I told her that I'm gonna be released May 2nd. She started crying. I'm crying. We both happy. We excited. So she telling. You know, she's excited, so she wanted me to tell my son, so I called my son, tell my son. But my son, he been locked up. I've been locked up his whole life. He's 29 years old. So he heard a lot of times that I was coming home. Yeah, your dad come home. My mom used to tell him. So he really didn't believe it. He like, yeah, they said that last time. Is he really coming home? So, you know, it didn't really sink into him that I was coming home. So I told him, I said, listen, they already approved my house. They proved everything. Like it's official. Like I'm really coming home. So, you know, upon me, you know, that May 2nd, I didn't really, like, all the way up to May 2nd, they were slow walking with the paperwork and everything. So I'm getting nervous. I'm like, oh, man, they might have changed their mind. I'm getting all nervous. I'm thinking everything. So, you know, I take the exit photo. I'm really leaving now. I leave. You know, I goes to the doors. I leave out. And when I get out there, the van pull up. You know, my mom, they out there, they recording. The van pulled. I remember like it was yesterday. My mom hollered, "Thank you, Jesus! Thank you, Jesus!" She's in the background saying, thank you, Jesus. So I get out the van. I said, yeah. I dropped my bag. I'm getting kind of emotional now. I ain't telling y'all about this, but I dropped my bag, and I started hugging everybody. I'm going around the circle hugging everybody. My mom, I'm hugging my mom, my son, and it was beautiful, man. It was definitely, it was emotional.
Unbelievable.
Anybody that seen that video cried. I don't care. My brother sent it to one of my bros that I was incarcerated with. And he said, listen, I'm going to tell you, it's kind of powerful. He's like, nah, man, I'm good. Man, he called him about a half an hour later. He was crying on the phone. He told me, but I got to call you back. I can't talk right now. Oh. He couldn't even talk. So, that was like after I came home, that was my first time, like, as a free man out in society.
So let's go into your transition now. Now, I'm sure, like, technology's different.
Yeah.
Communication.
Yeah. And I went in, we had beepers. I come out, they got cell phone. They give me an iPhone. I don't know how to work it. People call me. I don't know how to accept the calls. Texting was crazy. Social media. They talking about, it took me a while to even get on social media. I ain't know nothing about no Facebook and none of that stuff. And then, the biggest adjustment for me was the people. You know what I mean? Like now everything is texting. It wasn't really no social communication, like, you know what I mean? The females, they crazy. You can't even really talk to them now. They talk to them on the phone. You ask them how they doing. They talk about, don't you see them on the phone? Like, well, I just say, how you doing? Like, so the social aspect was the biggest hurdle for me getting over, because I had a lot of other things lined up, but the social interaction was very, very abnormal for me, because I went in where people talk to people. Now everybody texting,
There's no more, just knocking on somebody's door.
Nah. You can't.
You gotta call.
Or breaking through house phones.
You better text or call somebody.
You gotta call and let them know you're coming.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, you're out. What did you do when you got out? What was one of your first accomplishments? I know you talked about, sending your mom to Jamaica, but more so for yourself. Now.
Yeah, my main accomplishment upon my release was to get my license. I never had a license my whole life. So I took the test. The first time I took the test, I was looking at the little thing in jail. They had these little tests that that you read on the screen on your TV. So I look at it. I think I got the test. So I'm telling everybody, like, it's gonna be easy. I'm gonna knock it down. I'm selling. He's like, yeah, okay, yeah. So I go take the test. I fails. I'm sick. I'm like, oh man, now I gotta tell everybody that I told I passed it that I failed. So now they like, some people's like, yo, just keep working. You gonna get it. So I'm like, all right. So I'm doing the thing on my phone now. So I'm studying that. This time I failed about 2 questions. So I'm like, oh man, I failed it. I said, this is the third time I wasn't failing it. I was sleeping with that book. I went everywhere with that book. I ain't even go outside no more. I was just going to work at home. Mm-hmm. So I wound up, taking the test, and I wound up passing. I was so happy when that screen said pass, man, because this is my first time in life. I never had no license. So I got the license. I got a job, and I just started grinding, man. Putting my life in order. And my goal was to make sure that nobody, what I went through, that another young brother don't have to go through. That's right. Mentoring the young brother, teaching him about fatherhood. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started Life After Life. Okay. You know what I mean? Because they gave me life, and now it's my life after life. Mm-hmm. We deal with mentoring, character development, motivational speaking, rites of passage, just giving the youth some structure, let them know that, that we love them, we support them, man, and we're going to do whatever we can do to help them out.
Now, is that just you by yourself that started that brand, or do you have the staff with you?
Yeah. I'm still building it up, but me and my mom working together.
That's the.
She's my partner. She's my speaking partner. Every time I speak, they say, "Listen, we like you, but we make sure you bring your mom back. So if you don't come back with your mom, we don't know if we can take you."
So, Mrs. Bunch, when I first I met Jayrew in September, and then we met at the movie premiere. Yeah. And then we had brunch like a week later.
Yeah.
And like all he did was talk about you. Yeah. He showed me video of you speaking at schools and everything. Awesome. Yeah. So I had some familiarity of who you were before coming, but he talks really, really highly of you, for real.
I do the same thing about him too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I have other children, and while Jay was in there, I got married, so he had a lot of stepsisters and stepbrothers he had to get used to. Mm-hmm. And when you were saying, talking to him about what he was doing since he'd been out, I laughed about that because I recall you vacuumed my living room and I said, Jay, could you vacuum the family room for me? And he looked at me and said, "Ma, how you turn the vacuum cleaner?"
Yeah. True story,
Yeah, but, and, you know, some things that we take for granted, you don't realize that. And it just stopped me because I almost said, "How come you don't know how to do the vacuum cleaner?" But then I had to take myself back and remember that Jay was just coming. It was only like about 3 or 4 days after he got home. I was asking for some help, you know, to do a room, but he got through it. He learned how to do a lot of different things. He's doing very well, and I'm real proud of him.
That's good. They also say you have like a chess thing that you got going on, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Yeah. I got. I started because I was in Sports Illustrated for chess in 2005, and we played guys from Princeton, and me and one dude was played for the championship of the jail, and you know, chess helped me out in life and in getting through my struggles because it helped like decision making, critical thinking, and problem solving, and also tell you how to calculate your moves. So one of my goals was to teach the kids of Camden chess. Teach the kids of Camden chess so they could be able to make better decisions. You know, know that, you know, whatever situation they're in, there's always a way out. And I started, it's called the Kings and Queens of Camden Chess Club. We on Westfield at the Imani Fellowship House. Me and my elder, Mr. Tim Merrill, and Keith Benson. Keith he also you know, helps me with the youth, and we talk to the youth. He brings the kids there so we could talk to them, kids that are at risk. And it's a very good, impactful program.
What about Bobby? So when did you meet Bobby?
Oh yeah, I met Bobby. I met Bobby at the job. You know, we was communicating, and the job we work at. You know what I mean? At the hospital. Me and Bobby work at the hospital together, and you know, Bobby basically gave me the blueprint. He said, "Listen, this is what you gotta do. You know, you open up this, you save that, you put this up." You know, he gave me the blueprint of the job. He was the one, you know, basically showed me the job, and he started telling me his journey, and I couldn't believe it, man. It was so powerful, and we cried on the phone. You know, we didn't cry on the phone a couple times too. One time.
Well, Jayrew, let's let Bobby go into his journey real quick.
Yeah, go into your journey,
Give us
Bobby.
a little background.
So, all right, so real brief. I did 18 years and 10 days. I came home with nothing. I had no support. My family, you know, I basically just.
You said you did 18 years and what?
In 10 days.
You remember all his days.
Yeah. I did 18 years and 10 days incarcerated. When I left, all I had was my GED and a couple dollars. I had my driver's license. I was homeless. My family, you know, they really didn't do much for me. So basically, I was on an island by myself. However, again, prior to me being incarcerated, I kind of made a choice that I was going to work on myself. So like I said, I've been working on myself years ago, but when I got to that point, it just prepared me for the moments. So you know, by the grace of God, I ended up weathering the storm.
That's good.
I ended up weathering the storm.
Without the support, so you basically was in there by yourself.
No. My siblings live out of state, so I had support. But once I got out, you know, family members that I used to look out for, they wasn't present. So I had told Jayrew this one time. This was, you know, everybody have learning curves in life, right? And I'm gonna say this, like, the most influential people had the hardest times in life.
Of course.
Yeah, the most influential people, they had the hardest times in life. But anyway, so my family had threw me like a party, whatever, prior to me getting out. My siblings flew in, whatever. So, you know, I had like mixed emotions. You know, I said, you know what, I'm gonna just, you know, I'm gonna speak how I feel, and I'm gonna be rude. But anyway, after I really thought about the situation, at the end of the day, I put myself in that situation. It was nobody's fault. So, you know, I wasn't really like, I didn't really deal with them like how I used to deal with them, but I was respectful. And the crazy thing is, like, they cry all in front of me like babies, because they was expecting me to be rude, right? That was just their conscience. I ain't had to do nothing to them.
That was their guilt.
God whooped them right in front of me. They was crying like babies. These are professional people.
Right.
These people that's well off in life.
Yeah.
So that was like my first learning. You know that.
So that's basically, it was your growth period, because one thing about me, I was homeless at 14. I lost my entire family at the age of 14. Yeah. I was homeless. I had to like basically urinate on myself just to stay warm because it was cold. At that age, when I did, basically I had to do everything I had to do on my own and had, without a foundation, everything. When I got old enough, this when I know that the growth came in, when I was able to forgive those that wasn't there for me.
Yep.
You know, and that's when I realized like I am becoming a better person because being bitter, holding that anger, it holds you back as a and it blocks your blessings.
Yeah.
People that go through the most stuff are the most blessed people. You went through your things for a reason. God's using you because you're gonna change so many. The program, the chess, everything you got going on. You're gonna change. Like I get goosebumps. You're gonna change so many lives.
That's true.
Because a lot of people don't have that
strength,
and you're there for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You experience what you experience for your own reasons as well. And it was a learning experience for everybody else when they were like. They felt that guilt. We wasn't there for him, and he's still standing in front of us with this, you know, like still gratitude. Like I'm happy y'all here for me. It's, you know, it happens.
It's life.
Ultimately, what it seems like, you know, the people who really come back from their redemptions are the ones that let go of any bitterness and grudges. So far, out of the people that we brought on this pod, you know, when they talk about redemption, it's like, I'm just going to let it go. You know, I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. And wipe the slate clean.
Before I came home, Kevin Baker, I was talking to him on the phone one time, and I said, because I still had that little bit of animosity, and people turn their back on me. I'm like, man, I'm gonna shine on them. So I said, KB, I said, how you go from people not wanting to accept your cause and everybody love you? He said, Jay, when I came out, I left all that stuff behind the wall, and that's exactly what I did. I came out with love. I didn't come out. I said, because I didn't want to do like she said, block your blessings. I said, somebody might be coming to me with a job or something, and I'm mad at them because they ain't come see me in '98. I said, I gotta let all that stuff go. So I let it all go. And I told everybody about coming home, I said, I'm coming out with love in my heart. Whoever didn't come see me, I ain't worried about it. I did the time. And we start a new relationship from this point on. And all blessings start coming.
And that's why most dudes and most females, that's why they can't really like evolve because of just that small little detail. You gotta be able to whatever happened to you, like I heard somebody say this, whatever happened to you, right? It's a reason. You got to figure it out, whether it's good or bad. You got to figure it out. It happened for a reason. Once you get into that mindset, man, you let all that go. You get your happiness back. And then that's when it's no longer vague. You can see now. You can see clearly now. You can see and you can hear clearly now because you don't have that. There's nothing hindering your heart.
Right.
Exactly.
Everybody has a story. The only thing is about not being written off. It's just continuing, and it's gonna end how you want it to end.
Exactly.
And the struggle don't stop.
It doesn't. But real quick, before we wrap up, I do want to go into. You want to talk about your son as well?
Oh yeah. My son name is Jayrew McCormick. He's a very well-known basketball coach. He was born while I was incarcerated. When I got incarcerated, she was 3 months pregnant. So she had him May the 17th. I was incarcerated December the 24th, and he's a leader. And the boy's on fire, man. He got his own basketball program where he mentors the kids. He done sent a lot of kids to college. He just got a Boss Award, a leadership award from the Boss organization. The mayor, everybody know him in the city. I said it's funny how when he was young, everybody embraced him because he's my son. Now everybody embraced me because I'm his father. They don't even talk to me. If I go and say my name Jayrew, they be like, who are you? I say, I'm Zai's father. They say, oh, you Zai's father? Yeah, oh my God. I told him that's how the side said, yo, you laying the foundation with me. All these people know me because of you.
That's what's up.
That's beautiful.
I said, you a leader out here.
He's his own man.
That's a beautiful thing.
You not no follower.
That's cool.
You take care of your family. He made me, he got he got a boy and a girl twins. And then he got another baby, and he take care of the whole family, he do everything. I said, man,
you ready to get married?
And he about to get married. I said, man, listen, man, I'm you the man that I wanted to be.
Yes.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
So, we're about to come to a close. I guess, what's next? What's the plan from here?
I'm just gonna continue building life after life. We're working on. I got another a short introduction to me. I'm shooting that in January. And we supposed to go to Harvard. I'm going to Harvard. We're going to speak at Harvard. I'm bringing all my boys that been in the struggle. We going to speak to Harvard.
You going to?
And we going to lecture to the.
I know you're going to be there.
She's definitely going to be there. We're going to lecture to the millionaires and the billionaires in Harvard and tell them what real struggle is like. You know what I'm saying? And coming back from adversity and not making no excuses and coming out here making it happen. So
beautiful thing.
Being responsible. And we got the Life After Life shirts. So we definitely gonna be moving. 2025 is gonna be a good year, and I'm definitely gonna keep grinding and keep putting it together, man. And always remember, your decisions determine your destiny, man. Decisions you make determine the road you take.
And do you want to?
No, go ahead.
I would like to tell the mothers out there to stay behind your children, be very supportive. A lot of things you're not going to know about them, you'll find out later. But if they're incarcerated, stay there, go see them, go visit them, be very supportive to them because the support, they need it. And I feel good about Jay and my grandson, me sticking beside him, having a lovely husband, and I have stepchildren that understood me. They supported me all the way through my trials and tribulations. I just want to thank God for giving me my son back with a state mind. He's doing great things. I'm proud of him, and I'm going to stick right beside him.
Marty, what did you want to say?
No, I wanted to say give up your
social media
information in case somebody want to, interact with you with the life after life or just period.
Speaking engagements and all that. Yeah, what's your social media?
Okay,
how can we contact you?
it's Jayrew Rutherford on Facebook, Jayrew Rutherford on Instagram, and Life After Life LLC.
And
on YouTube.
Jayrew at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Jayrew Rutherford at gmail.com. You want to contact me for any speaking engagements, anything, talking to the youth. I'm there for that. And, I just want to be able to tell my journey and inspire other brothers and let them know that you can go through some things in life and, you can make it out and you can make an impact and change other people's lives. So that's my goal.
Bobby, any last minute things that you want to say? What's next for you?
Just evolving, just helping people along the way.
And if someone wanted to contact you for any advice or help with what they got going on, just like how you...
My email is bb5251975@gmail.com.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's dope. That's dope. Mahdi, how can they find you? Any last closing statements from you?
My thing about it is I'm very inspired with this interview. The mother-son duo, I love it. Just y'all getting over the obstacles that y'all went through in life is very powerful. And like I said, you have so much going on, moving forward. Like, you're going to save so many lives. I just see it because me as a youth being in the streets, I just needed somebody to hold my hand and say, I got you. We don't have that. A lot of people don't have that, especially the generation, and we tend to back away from the troubled kids. Those are the one I'm more attached to because I know it's a story behind their anger, their frustration. Is a reason why they're feeling the way they're feeling.
Exactly.
So, hey, if y'all ever need me to come in there and talk to anybody, I'll come with y'all too because I love giving back to the youth.
Okay.
Bobby, nice meeting you as well. And continue moving forward, everything by being prospering in life and keep it pushing. And it's Miss Marty, but you can find me at Marty Garcia at Instagram.
It's a smile in it.
It's a period.
I just want to say I appreciate you two for coming on the platform and sharing your story. That means a lot to me as well. Thank you for reaching out. And thank you for coming as well. Mahdi, I appreciate you driving an hour to come out here. Thank you for, supporting as well. And you were great. I appreciate you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, this wraps up our episode of Opposing Perspectives Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.
Yes, that was so
We got
awesome.
action.
We got action.
Yeah. Look at Bobby. You're the boo, Bobby.